All right, let's just get started with this first one again here. This is the deck that I've been working on, that I've been enjoying the most in this game so far, I think. This is Twisted Noxus, which is a mostly Bilgewater deck, playing 3 copies of Twisted Fate as just kind of a value mid-range card, while obviously you do level him up sometimes by letting him see you draw 8 cards. For the most part, you're just playing him because he either comes into play and draws a card, or he deals 1 damage to everything, or he stuns or kills their biggest thing to let you get through attacks. The second champion that we're playing in our deck is 2 copies of Katarina here, who gives us extra attacks as well as creating a fleeting Blade's Edge to get us that first point of damage on things, or add some extra once we've hit them once with like Make It Rain or stuff like that. Her leveled up ability lets you rally when she comes into play, which means you gain an attack token if you don't already have one. So this can let you attack on your opponent's turn, or it can give you additional attacks on your turn. And every time she strikes, she recalls herself back to hand. So if you have multiple mana to pay her out, you have 8+ mana, you can get lots of attacks in a single turn and close games out very quickly. The core of this deck is exactly the style of deck that I really like playing in most card games. It's what I would classify as an aggressive mid-range deck. So it has a lot of tools like Hired Gun and Jaw Hunters and Death's Hand to kind of keep the board in check, and then when we're ready, we can pivot and start beating people down with things like Katarina. So let's go ahead and pop on into some matches here with this and see how it goes. We are, is this Diamond 2 or Plat 2? I don't know, whatever this color is 2. We'll see if we can pull ourselves up onto the next rank floor here today. What is Vulnerable? Vulnerable means you can force something to block it. So it's kind of like Reverse Challenger, only anything can make it block. Opponent's playing Zed, which generally means a elusive aggro right now. So I'm going to mulligan everything that's not my removal spell here, looking for some other cheap interaction. Yeah, this is decent. Noxious Guillotine here will let us finish anything that this can't kill. It just means in general. So Katrina here, Katarina, whatever you want to call her, very easy to level up because notably she has quick attack too. Go ahead and kill this. Go ahead and summon a Powder Keg here. This lets my next spell or skill deal an extra point of damage, which basically means this will deal 2 to everything it hits. This is vulnerable, so they can hook it. So we'll see if they open on attacks here. I think I'm just passing here. See if they play out another thing to attack with.
Do not fear the shrouded path.
And then I think we just make it rain.
Do you want to go back to work?
I could go Parley in to make it rain, right? I could do this. And then if this gets lucky, I kill them both. Let's do that. Perfect. So this will deal 2 to each of these, and then Parlay will finish this off. They have a Burst of Iron here to give this extra points of toughness. That's fine. Again, that quality back and forth interaction that you expect from an interactive card game. So this levels up when it or its shadows have struck the Nexus twice, so I think I need to chump here to prevent this from leveling up. If this levels up, it gains another point of defense here, and I want to be able to hired gun this next turn. Although, I guess I could just guillotine it. I could trade here, take 8. Taking 8 also isn't ideal against their evasive deck. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I think I'm probably still gonna guillotine this, though. The lightning signifies quick attack. It's exactly correct. Huh. I could just Katarina here and then use her fleeting blade to kill this. And then wait to guillotine this till next turn. Let's do that to start. Yeah, and quick attack here, notably, quick attack only works when you're on the play. Oh, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make it rain here, because if this hits Zed, I could finish him with Blade's Edge. Perfect. Yeah, that would be fine, Psycho Smurf. In fact, I think I'm doing a third deck today, so if you wanted to submit that and get it in today, I'd be okay with that. So when she strikes something, she'll recall back to my hand and level up.
No one gets in my way.
And we'll use our last mana to Blade's Edge this. Very real chance my opponent has something to protect this here. Deal. Getting a Fury in the North used here is huge. And then actually, this still works out really well for us, because Guillotine, I'm going up to 6 mana this turn. Guillotine creates a fleeting copy of itself, so I'll get to Guillotine. Oh no, this doesn't work. I forgot that. I always forget that pump spells heal them in this game, which is not super intuitive. Yeah, maybe that's a punt on my part, because I forgot that pump spells heal them. I think we're probably just dead now at this point, because I forgot that. This is a 7 months Pie Master Pie, I appreciate that.
Only the worthy survive.
Yeah, I think we're probably dead here. I guess I could do this and hook Zed. The problem is, like, they're almost assuredly just gonna have some elusive things here at this point. Yeah. Oh, and my guillotine's gone, right? Because it was fleeting. Yeah, I'm one mana short of being able to Riptide Rex, so we can only use this for spells. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I sequence differently, and I think if I prioritize taking Zed off the table a little bit higher there, I can probably win that. Or at the very least, like, even if we don't guaranteed win, we survive. And if we survive, Riptide Rex probably means we win. Draven Misfortune, probably another aggro deck. And I think this hand actually looks pretty fine against aggro. Maybe Petty Officer could be a mulligan. Maybe. Tape are we playing? Just like when we play Magic, you can always see what deck we're currently playing in the stream title. This is Twisted Noxus, which is a mid-range deck.
nothing like the stink of blood and
All right, if we high roll here, so this does 2 damage to 3 different things at random, which could include their Nexus. So let's block here, and then do this, and hope that we kill their 3 things here. All right, this works out. So we got 2 of their things, and this is gonna trade here. And then, because we hit their Nexus, that triggers Plunder for Black Market Merchants, so we get to play this and draw a card off their deck. Monkey Idol. Round start, deal 2 damage to me and summon a Powder Monkey. That's interesting. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Jaw Hunters here and hook this 2/3. They do not get to know what card we drew. They just know it's a non-champion card.
set the hook.
Is that all?
Perfect, Psycho Smurf.
Time for the main event. Axes coming right up.
Alright, so Draven's attacking with quick attack here. He's got at least an axe. I don't have anything that's quick in my hand. I think I'm just taking my hit for 3 here. I'm gonna go ahead and Twisted Fate and red card deal the damage to everything, and that lets Ravenous Flock kill this down the line here.
Something for all.
I'm very split between whether or not Guillotine or Ravenous Flock is better. It's very possible that Flock is better. Yeah, it's a 4-ball. Do the cards having simple text/effects take away from the depth or complexity? I don't understand your statement.
Oh, I can't wait.
I don't understand your question. Yeah, Easy Karma was good again yesterday. Was good again. So when this survives damage, it deals 2 to our Nexus. Coming from Magic, how is Warning Shot a good card? Warning Shot is important because it triggers Plunder, where we get an extra effect if we dealt damage to the opponent's Nexus in a turn. And because you draw a card on every turn in this game, not just your turns, you can play some lower quality cards in your decks because they're synergistic. Unlike in Magic, where if you play a low quality card, you just like lose because it's not worth an entire card. So, synergy decks are better in this game than in Magic on average because of the volume. Because of the volume of,
You're pretty when you smile.
I don't have anything in my hand to deal damage, let's just get a 1-drop here. Because of how the design of the game is.
Cover me, Crackshot.
You got it, Captain.
We're gonna attack with everything here. We'll hook this one here. If they want to have Misfortune eat something, we can Guillotine to finish our next turn. Jensen's just a very dry, like even when Jensen's making a joke, he has very dry humor.
What you...
See my level up effect happening there.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the face.
Captain's orders, bullet to the face.
Say your farewells.
So these will deal 2 to my Nexus here. So we're almost assuredly guillotining this. The question is, can they burn us out? These are just spinning axes, so those don't do much. I think we're just gonna petty officer, make another 1-cost follower. I have a couple of decimates here. This is their second decimate this game, so hopefully they don't have another. Okay, if they don't have lethal, okay, we might be able to kill them here. So we have Riptide Rex here. We get to open on attacks.
Time to make some coin.
If this isn't their third decimate, they should be dead.
Gotcha in my sights.
Moving into sight.
I didn't, and again, this is some of the back and forth in this game. I didn't play this out pre-combat, because if I play this out pre-combat, they get a chance to play another blocker or a spell. So is this decimate? It's not. Fire the shock cannon! That's my favorite. Riptide Rex is my favorite finisher in this game. It's so great. Yeah, the scooping motion where you grab all of your stuff when you're putting into attacks is really great. But I was playing Sajani Misfortune, so probably another aggressively slanted deck. Go ahead and mulligan Salvage here, I think. We'll keep the rest of these. What's going on, Jin? Good morning. We've not had Katarina pop off yet in any of our games, no. When's the next Exoglandia open? Jabanu, thanks for the 5 months. I think it's gonna be the first weekend in July.
Fight or die.
I think. I don't have any guarantees on that. I don't like to make promises I can't keep. So we're waiting to see what happens with Christy and the new child and all that.
I need more ants.
Yeah, the mulligan, not so great. Got the same one back.
Find me a favorite lump.
Look, behind
Sedge
you.
and MTGA is a tempo deck. Yes. Did you know that tempo stands for aggro control? So when I said my opponent's likely an aggressive deck and then you said they're a tempo deck, reality says those are the same thing.
I'll blow up the pieces.
How much time am I planning to invest into Runeterra? When I come back from my week of paternity leave, I think my plan is to do like 2 parts Magic, 1 part Runeterra. When I go back to streaming some Magic
Time for violence.
and see how that goes. I'm just gonna take this hit here because Twisted Fate's gonna be able to kill her. The question is, do I just pass and see if they do nothing? Or do I, like, play out Petty Officer here and make another powder keg? I kind of want to just pass and see what they do. They could play something else out that Twisted Fate could kill. Or at least get some damage on. Yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and do this and summon another powder keg. Because with the powder keg, Twisted Fate will kill both of these next turn. It is very scary to branch out. But like, there's always, my wife and I actually talked about this yesterday, and there's always a lot of uncertainty in my job. Like, even if I don't branch out, like there's uncertainty with Wizards of the Coast running Magic into the ground. There's uncertainty with, you know, them refusing to address the fact that they have apparently a bunch of issues in their workplace. So basically, there are no certainties in this industry for me, and I'm just gonna try and do my best to just enjoy myself.
Thanks.
Is random one drop worth it sometimes? Yeah. If you're not setting up something like red card or a way to deal damage, you'll often make one drops with this. In fact, last match, I made one drops twice in a row. So it depends on. This is a card that like what you're doing with it is contextual. Ha! There, make it rain, missed by powder keg. Hashtag sometimes lucky. I don't have any intentions of playing Cube of my own volition on Magic Arena. I would take people's money to play Cube on Arena if it's still up when I get back from my break, but...
Butcher.
Keeps taking my stuff, chat. We're actually in an okay-ish spot here, especially with Warning Shot plus Riptide Rex getting lined up here down the line. I think someone was asking about how often do you make a one-cost follower, and I think this is actually going to be a spot where we do.
I need more ammo.
A chump blocker here sounds great. Yeah, when I come back from baby leave, I don't expect to like go back to full time immediately too as well. We'll see. It's going to depend on a variety of factors. So I think my plan when I do come back is like do one part to do like 2 Magic decks a day and 1 Runeterra deck a day. It's a little awkward that we're attacking on odds here when we have Riptide Rex lined up. Is what it is. Draw a couple of cards here. It's possible that 2 of this is too many too. She's really awkward in multiples. Draw from your opponent's deck is one of your least favorite mechanics in this game. I think it's great. I love digital-only mechanics like that. I guess that's not even true. We've had effects like that in Magic plenty of times, right? They get done more elegantly digitally. Yeah, it's not even fair to say that like that's a digital mechanic. Like that's definitely something that happens in paper. It just is a lot less elegant in paper. So I can go Hired Gun here, make this vulnerable, and then Katarina hook this. She'll do 3, recall herself, and then her Fleeting Blade can kill it. How do champions work in multiple? So, fun. This card here is actually Twisted Fate. When you draw a second copy of a champion while you have one in play, it turns into a spell, and that spell always shuffles a copy of the digital...
Safety.
Always shuffles a copy of Twisted Fate back into your deck, so you don't lose it, which is great. Yes, yeah, and if this Twisted Fate dies, this will turn back into Twisted Fate in my hand. So you may basically never have dead legendaries rotting in your hand, which is wonderful.
India needs you to pay up.
And then when they block here, I can now Blade's Edge to kill this. This won't die, but it'll take this out of play and my Twisted Fate will live, which sounds good. I could also just like let this happen and like Blade's Edge plus Black Market Merchant here with Plunder, and then like have my second Twisted Fate kill all three of these next turn. Huh. Lot of choices here. I guess I'm already triggering Plunder. Okay, we'll just Blade's Edge this so we quick attack down, so this is gonna Plunder anyways.
This might.
So she dies, this dies, they take 2.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
Don't ask where it's from, ask how much. I have looked at Artifact 2.0. I don't really know how I feel about it. The fact that there's still 3 game boards is a little bit much, but I also like haven't looked at it enough to really know what's going on with it. So, someone was asking about Warning Shot earlier. This is why Warning Shot's good. Hit you with Warning Shot, play Riptide Rex, fire the meme cannons. So, we're not gonna kill Sajani here, but we're gonna kill the rest of their board, then we'll have decent open attacks next turn. Although I guess this is about to flip over, huh? Which means Warning Shot fogs my attacks. Yeah, I guess we're in a little bit of trouble here.
I was forged by winter.
So Sajani's leveled up ability says whenever you deal damage to the Nexus for the first time in a turn, it frostbites all of our units, and like they have this Warning Shot as like as just a free fog now. And I don't have a way to take this out. Yeah, we're probably dead here, actually. How close is Twisted Fate to flipping? Well, he's dead, so not very. Yes, Katarina has to deal damage to strike. We might be able to burn them out with good draws here. If we can like find another shark. Sajani is definitely one of the better champs in this game at the moment. That is accurate. Wow, and they just rallied and took the attack. Okay, so now we need to Twisted Fate gold card to stun Sajani, because otherwise we die. The fact that this healed them here was huge as well. It meant that we weren't really going to be able to race. This is a card I've considered playing at our top end too. This card's very sweet.
All that glitters.
So they're gonna get to hook him now. Let's black market and see what we get.
My selection speaks for itself.
Not my first
So we're gonna take 3 here, so we're dead to another warning shot.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
Close. I think I'm gonna cut the second Katarina. Not been happy with that one. I'm gonna add a guillotine back in. I've missed that effect a little bit. I went down to one of them. Get a rematch in the elusives matchup here. Gonna mulligan warning shot, but keep these 3 pieces of interaction. Perfect. We're attacking on evens here, which is a little awkward with the hunters, but not too bad. You can always find the current deck list by typing !RT decks in my chat.
The order rewards its faithful.
Precious work.
I think I'm just playing hunters and planning to hook this. This card's really good because it's challenger, which lets it force something to block it. And then it also creates a random sea monster when it comes into play. So it's basically like a removal spell that sometimes pressure their life that also draws you a lowish quality card. The big thing to understand about the priority system in this game is that you can't respond to burst spells, and more importantly, playing a burst spell does not pass priority back to your opponent like playing any other card does.
Silent as death.
So that's an important distinction.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
Ooh, that's great.
Looking for a dream escape.
Hey, thanks for the 15 months, Pepperidge Farm. I'm enjoying making Runeterra content. It's been a lot of fun. We got their own elusives. You get to bank this into spell mana here. So probably, ooh, that's great. So Petty Officer here can create a powder keg, which will let Make It Rain deal 2 damage to everything. So let's go ahead and do this and summon a powder keg. Okay, we missed the Hawk, but we got these 2, so we'll take that. We'll see if they have a pump spell here. Yep, Elixir of Iron, not surprising.
They picked the wrong row.
My selection speaks for itself.
So this can block here, this can trade here, this can jump here, because I don't want Zed to flip.
Vessel small, but gate lacking courage.
Play another Jowl Hunters here. We'll be able to hook Zed now in combat. If they have some kind of trick, we have their Fury of the North to get them back. Would there be any difference if you block the Shadow over Zed? No, it's basically the same since we're not dealing damage to the Zed anyways. It's just a wash, it doesn't matter.
Go and harvest it.
And now I kind of have to decide, do I want to Fury here? I almost think I do. So that way I keep my Challenger unit. Because they don't have Unsummon up, because that costs 4. I don't think there's a punish for that there. They could have like had a pump spell of their own, but that's not a big deal. Warning Shot's a great draw in the face of Warning Shot's a great draw with Shark Dad in hand here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and play Dreadway deckhand out here just for a second blocker. Just like, alright, these are my things that can block now. So we can like chump this out. So I think we go like this here, and then like block. Oh, this can't block, right? I'm dumb. I'll learn all the rules eventually, Chad, I promise. Alright, I think I'm chumping. Am I? No, I'm gonna take that and keep my elusive.
Yeah, you don't want to cross me. These are dangerous lands.
So we'll open on Warning Shot into Riptide Rex here. So Shark, when he comes into play, casts 7 cannon barrages at random. Each cannon barrage deals 2 damage to the unit that it targets, and if that unit's dead when the cannon's barrage goes to resolve, it'll deal 1 damage to their Nexus instead. Opponent is definitely the aggressor in a matchup like this. They're trying to end the game before we can. You'll need to Google to reset your region. I had an issue with my region being the wrong one as well when we first started. Yeah, I had a really old Riot account that I genuinely didn't remember making, so I wonder if like it was using a password that I had that got like a password that got jacked at some point from some random crack. I would bet that like it used a password that I used somewhere else in a random that was like a random account breach. Yeah, you can only have 3 of a given card in Runeterra. Outplayed. So I'm told after we get everything to 8, we want to get all of these other ones to 12. We'll slowly do that. Any tips on getting out of plat? Win more than you lose. Sajani Misfortune. Again, probably on the aggressive side. I think I'm gonna mulligan all of these. I don't need 2 powder kegs if I don't have anything to enable with them. I'm gonna keep my cheap threat. Maybe trimming a Riptide Rex or 2. Listen, if they would let me play 4 Riptide Rex, I'd play 4 Riptide Rex. If you think you should be trimming Riptide Rex from this deck, I'd recommend playing more games with it. I think 6 is probably too many. 4 to 5 is probably in the range of Riptide Rex I'd be interested in playing. I'm gonna be honest and say that I don't know the full text on Gangplank offhand. So I should look up what Gangplank does before saying it's bad.
No prey, no pay.
Okay, so let's Death's Hand her. Yeah, I completely agree with that, Ring Tingy. The fact that how you kind of play through and open stuff gives you some of that, oh, I opened this sweet thing feeling as a free-to-play aspect, while when you are spending money, you still have control over it, basically. I'm just passing here. Yeah, if we both just want to bank mana, I'm okay with that exchange there. That's super unfortunate. There's only 7 Noxus cards in our deck, and one of them's on top.
Carved from the savage cold.
Whoa, Drewski Brew, thank you for the absurd tip. I appreciate it. Oh, I completely forgot to message you back about the registering. I'm sorry. I've been really scattered lately. I appreciate the absurd support. I don't know what I want to do in this turn. Let me reload my dashboard here so I can see your message. I think it's just Make It Rain plus Guillotine. For the baby registry. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And then actually, I'm gonna wait a second on the guillotine. I'm gonna go ahead and just black market merchant since I've got that. Shot's not a stellar pickup. Why did I pass with unused mana? Because my opponent's deck is more aggressively slanted a lot of the time. And I think as this matchup goes long, my deck is more likely to win than their deck is to win, which means if we're both passing and giving up mana, it's extending the game, which favors me in the long term. Can you make it rain guillotine a non-damage unit? I don't believe so. Using Make It Rain in response. Sure. A couple people in chat talking about important differences from Magic. One of the things that's an important distinction in this game is when you say okay to let the stack resolve, the entire stack resolves. It doesn't pause more in between, which is important to know. What does fleeting mean? Fleeting means this is gonna go away at end of turn. So basically when you guillotine, you can guillotine a bunch of stuff.
Them good.
So if you pass without using mana and your opponent passes too, if you both pass, it goes to the next turn. So like here, how it says pass and not end turn, this means if I click pass, my opponent's gonna get a chance to do stuff. Whereas if it's gonna end the turn when you click the button, it's gonna it'll say end turn. So the button always tells you what's gonna happen when you click it. This is a lot of card advantage. That's rough. I drew my cards, so now my parlay didn't kill their thing. I think there's a chance that our deck's just a worse version of what our opponent's doing. So Johnny's a pretty good piece of top end. It's also possible that we could play something similar to what the opponent's doing, but with what's it called? Twisted Fate instead of Misfortune. Misfortune's been a card that I could take or leave. So Johnny's super powerful though. It's very, very good.
So small, but she ain't lacking courage.
That's our parlay. Brutal. 2, Marty. So in order to play Sajani, I'd have to give up my Noxus cards.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
Bounty Hole knows me name.
With luck, your bounty covers half a meal.
They don't need riches.
Got some fight in ya.
Add this to your bill.
Leave no survivors.
So trade, eat. They'll take 6 here. That's not a bad pickup.
Stand and fight.
So I'm gonna let combat damage just happen here to start, because if I go to do this and they like pump it, I'll take extra damage in combat because this has overwhelm. So I want to let combat happen first before going to kill this. This way if they save it with a +4/+4, I take less damage. Yep, this is exactly what we're talking about. So my sequencing here saved me some damage because they had a response.
They'll be floating in the water.
Riptide Rex is really good. What's my favorite aggressive deck? Tempo Endure, for sure. Yeah, sure. I should really give the opponent's deck a try. I mostly just want to play a deck with Riptide Rex in it. And the opponent's deck seems like a really good build of Riptide Rex. Is it on the website? Yeah, we played with it on stream a couple of times. You can find it in the Runeterra videos page. Guillotine is a great draw here. So let's start by attacking with this because it's elusive and see what we draw. Oh, that is my Rex. You're super right. You're super right. That is my Rex.
Your shiny sharks our course.
Danger A.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Fortune favors the bold.
The ocean is no place for the weak.
Again, just showing some of the real strength, the Jaw Hunters here. Love this card.
Wield your fury.
So I expect to see them open on attacks here next turn.
This is our way.
I'm gonna block like this. And then I'll get priority here post-combat. So I'll go Twisted Fate, red card. And then I'll get to guillotine 2 things here.
Son of a...
Ready, Rex? Not yet! Don't
He's so good, chat. He's so good. Unfortunately, do not have enough mana for a 3rd guillotine here.
Coming in hot!
Yeah, looks like we're dead here. Not dead this turn, but like effectively dead in this game.
Darned, I'm sure.
We're gonna go to 3 here, and they're gonna have a shark in this. I assume you mean doesn't, but yeah, Christy, unless the baby comes between now, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Listen, if you have a kid, you better be here. I assume that wasn't the messaging you were going for. Yeah, assuming the Haley doesn't come, I'll be online tomorrow morning.
I need more hands! Stow the rations! Shackle the prisoners! I'll blow them to pieces!
My selection speaks for itself.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
Yeah, I think I want to try something like the opponent shell with Twisted Fate. Oh yeah, I could have hooked the kick. Yeah, I missed a free point. That doesn't matter. I had conceded already in my head. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that I want to just try something like I want to just basically try something like the opponent shell, but with instead of like, if you look at this list, I'm only playing, you know, seven Noxus cards. So like flipping this deck to like be closer to what the opponent's playing is really as simple as just like adding 3 Sajani in here and figuring out what other cards from those colors I would like to be playing. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a Sajani twist of it. It's basically this. Like, I don't like, okay, we can look at, see what other cards they're playing, but. Yeah, it's like basically the deck I just linked to you. All right, we just started with. It's playing like a couple of cute things. Only got 2 Riptide Rexes because it hates itself. Yeah, I feel like it's a twisted fro. Something like this is what I would. what I would like to take a peek at. Toontingy, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Other cards that could potentially be useful. Things like Elixir of Iron were things that the other build was playing that could be okay. Just playing a couple copies of Fury in the North could be good. That's just a really good combat trick. It's also very possible that instead of Salvage, I would like to play some Pilfered Goods. It's a card that I'm not sure whether or not I love it. Try something like that again. These are really good. Like, this is a big part of why our opponent was able to beat us in the last game, because they had Pilfered Goods and we didn't, and they were able to just like snowball that type of effect basically. So maybe I'll try something like this next time I am looking to ladder off stream. Brittle Steel could also be okay. Frostbiting things is fantastic. All right, what are we gonna do? I got a couple of deck submissions that we're gonna roll through next. We are going to take a look at actually a different Twisted Fate deck. So we've got a Twisted Jinx deck that we had someone send in. Cordemi, thank you for the 22 months and for the very generous tier 2 at that. I'm gonna quick ad roll while I get set up. When we get back, we're gonna be playing some Twisted Fate along with Jinx here in this Bilgewater Piltover deck. Back in just a few.